Good day, greetings students. I'm very happy to meet you all in class 12 business studies. So far we have been discussing about chapter 4 planning, right? So what is planning? Planning is setting of your objectives and deciding the course of action of how to do it. So we are in chapter 4, which is planning, and all we have completed 3 chapters so far. Till business environment we have completed. I hope you don't have any doubts in that. Please work on your worksheets very well. Look into your book. Read the text completely, which will help you in answering your worksheets as well as the tests also. Now we started with planning, right? So planning is considered to be the managerial function, one of the managerial functions, and of course it is the basic managerial functions. When we discussed managerial functions, what were the different things that we have discussed about managerial functions in chapter 1? I want you to recall about chapter 1. What were the points, what were the managerial actions that we have discussed? We discussed that management is all about planning, right? It starts with planning, then it goes to organizing, right? Then we'll go to staffing, then directing, and controlling. Does it stop with controlling? No. Again, it should continue with planning because it's going to be a repeated process. Management is a continuous process and a repeated process. So once you plan, what do you have to plan? Planning means what? You have to set your objectives and you need to set the course of action. What to do and how to do it is called as planning. Once you do it, what are your objectives and how you are going to achieve it, then you will be able to organize your resources. Organizing means what? Bringing together the resources that require to achieve your destined plan, then assigning duties to the right people, and all those things come with organizing. Once you organize your resources, your human resources, and how you have decided to assign your duties, the next step is to staff. That is to recruit competent people, competent and committed people for your business organization. Then only your management will be successful. And then you need to direct them. That is, you need to tell them about planning. Right, you need to tell them what is our plan. How are we going to achieve it? Right, so there comes directing. Finally, controlling. What is controlling? You are going to see whether it is going according to the plan. If not, you are going to bring them back. So when you are organizing, you need to know what is the plan. Right? You need to know the plan. Because based on your plan only you are going to organize. Then when you are going to staff, when you are going to recruit people, you need to know what is your plan. Because only if you know your objectives and how you are going to achieve your objectives, you will be able to recruit related people and competent people. You have opened an IT industry and you want to increase the IT professionals. And if you recruit people who are good in language, that is not going to help. They are going to have some knowledge about computers also. So what is your objective? And according to that you have to staff. So there here planning helps. We discussed that through directing also we need planning, because on the basis of what do you direct? You direct based on the plan that you have made. Control. You need to know whether you are going in the right way, whether you need to deviate something, whether you are achieving things in the form or in the way that this has to be. All this you have to refer. And then after you refer, when something goes wrong, you need to bring it back into your control. So for every managerial function, you will be needing planning. Planning serves as a base. It is the base and first and most important managerial function. Of course, all these 5 managerial functions are interrelated, because once you have planned, it does not stop there. You need organizing. Right, your planning will not be complete without knowing whether you will be able to organize it or not. So after organizing, it doesn't stop. You need to guide them, you need to train them, you need to take them in the right way where they lead to success. So all these functions are called as interrelated function. That is, one function cannot exist alone. Okay, I have completed planning. That's it. My managerial function is over. Can you say that? No. So after planning, can you jump directly to controlling? No. It should go in a process. You can deviate in the process. I hope you remember scallop chain. Where in scallop chain, what did we discuss? We had this sort of a triangle form where hierarchy was placed. Each person was placed in their hierarchy, and when they were in need, they can use the Gantt plan to reach some official of the other degree also. Same way, these are interrelated functions. It is essential that you need to come in the order, as well as you need to cross check also. Right, after organizing, okay, my work of planning is over, I don't want to refer my plans again. Can you say like that? No, you need it. Anywhere around you will be needing it. When you are directing, you may need to know the plan. When you are controlling, you may need to have to change the staff. For example, you are into a department, you are verifying whether the objectives, whether the production is going on as per the norms that has been set. You realize that it is not going as per the norms, you are not achieving the desired goals. Efficiency and effectiveness is becoming less. So what do? You come back to staffing. You will realize, okay, maybe the staff are not doing it properly. There you will either change them or train them or motivate them according to the needs. So even in controlling, you will need staffing. So these are interrelated. That is, even when you are in one function, you will have to think about or make the use of another function also. That is why we call managerial functions as interrelated functions. Okay, so we discussed this in chapter 1. Now we are discussing the basic managerial function, which is called as planning. In the previous video session, we have discussed the definition of planning and the importance of planning also. Why do you think that planning is becoming an important managerial function? Why do we have to plan? Why can't we directly start with the production or start with the process of management without planning? That is what we have discussed in the previous session. Let us quickly recall whatever were the points that we have discussed about the importance of planning. Right? Planning provides direction to you. Right? Why is planning important to you? Once you have planned, once you know what are your objectives and once you know how to achieve them, you will be able to get a direction into which you have to travel. Right? Without knowing something, you will not be able to go towards it. You should know your destination. You should know the finish point of a race. Then only you can run towards it. That is the reason we say that planning provides direction to you, because planning is considered to be the basic managerial function. The first of all, if you want to start any of the other function, it starts with planning. I accept that it is a rotation, but still it starts from planning. Without planning, you can't step into the next managerial function. That's why we say that planning provides direction. What was the second point that we have discussed? Do you remember? Planning reduces the risk of uncertainty. Of course, it cannot remove the risk, because risk is an inevitable factor, profit is a reward for risk. How many more times we discuss about risk? The only point is risk is inevitable. We cannot get rid of risk in a business. If you don't want to take a risk, then you are not possibly running a business. Then you will not be able to achieve a profit. That is the reason we say that risk is inevitable. Of course, planning cannot remove the risk entirely, but what can it do? It can reduce the uncertainty, because when you sit and plan, the manager has to think of all the possibilities. Right? What would happen if something goes wrong? How am I going to put it right? Everything will be discussed in the plan. So when he puts in the plan, he'll know, okay, So the uncertainty is reduced, the risk factor is reduced. Remember, it is not removed, it is reduced only. You can only reduce risk, but you cannot remove risk at any point of time. Right. What is the next thing? It reduces overlapping and removes unwanted activities. When you have a clear-cut plan and you organize, based on your plan, you can assign the duties. Right? So, for example, you have planned for developing or opening a new branch. Okay, expanding your business, and as a result, you're going to open a new branch in another city. So what would be the other things? That's your plan, that's your set objective, right? You're going to open a new branch. Now, what would be the ways that you can do it? You need to attend the legal documents or legal formalities that you have to finish. You need to make sure you have the enough amount to expand or open your branch. All those things. You have to think about the staffing and all those things. So when you organize the things, you will realize, okay, fine, which is the place that I have to open my branch. So how can I find my premises? You need an office, right, or a place to work. So you need to find your premises, what kind of staff you will be requiring, what machinery you need for that unit. So everything comes in organizing. So once you have decided that, you will be able to divide your work, division of work. Okay, according to FAIR, you can divide your work and give. Okay, finance department, you take care of the financial resources that we need. Okay, purchase department, you need to take care of the said thing. You have to buy the essential machinery or the stationery or the table, furniture, everything. And the next thing, you can appoint someone to go personally and look for the premises. If it is in planning that this person, this particular sales manager should go there and look for the premises, then that one person only is going to look for the premises, not the others. So it avoids overlapping. What does mean by overlapping? Just like overwriting, doing something again and again unwantedly is called as overlapping. So wasteful activities also will be entirely stopped. It reduces cost. Right, one sales manager goes finds the premises. So you need to give the traveling charge for that person. So when you give the traveling charge to one person, that's enough. You don't have to pay another person. But in case you didn't plan it, another sales manager has gone and he has also looked for the premises. Now you need to give traveling allowances for two people, which is of course a waste for the management to pay for two people for the same activity. That's what we call as overlapping, and unwanted activities will be removed using planning. And then it helps a lot in decision making, because in controlling or directing anywhere decision making plays an important role. So when you need to decide something, you have a clear-cut plan for you. So you can take your plan structure, you can refer to it at any point of time. Just make your decisions clear and very well. So your decision making will be with clarity. It will be an easy, effective process. Then it helps you to bring up innovative ideas. What is innovation? Innovation, something that is coming out of some invention, is called as innovation. Okay, cycles were invention. Bringing gears into it and making it more quicker or more effective is becoming innovation. Right. So what is that? Innovative ideas. Planning helps you to bring up innovative ideas, because when you sit and plan, brainstorming will happen, and of course many people will be giving their suggestion. You can come up with a new idea which will be really helpful in your production or in your management process. That's why these are the importance of planning. Clear? These were the points that we have discussed why planning is important. Now in this video, what are we going to discuss? We are going to discuss about the features of planning. Planning means how it should be. We say planning. How it should be. What are the basic characteristics of planning? How can you recognize that a plan should be like this? What does a plan do? What are the nature and scope of planning? features, characteristic, nature, scope, everything comes together. What are the features of planning? That's what we are going to discuss now. Before you proceed, I want you to just make a quick note of what might be the features of planning. We have discussed so much about planning. So what might be the features of planning? Just take a quick guess. Whenever I'm going to take some topic like this, I want you to take a quick guess and have it in your mind or just jot it down in your notebook to just make sure that it matches. You know, you can measure yourself how well you are coming up with the topic. That's why I want you to just jot down the points of your guess that these might be the features of planning without referring to book. After we discuss it, you can compare like how much you were able to bring it together, and if not, what went wrong, and you can definitely make sure you listen or you understand in a positive way. Right? That's what I want you to do. Discussing about features of planning. Okay. What might be the first feature? Planning focuses on achieving goals. So what is the first point regarding planning that we have discussed? Planning is what to do and how to do it. So it is basically talking about your objectives or your goals. So how do you do it? Planning focuses on achieving goals. So what should be your plan like? Your plan should be formulated in a way that it achieves or it works towards achieving your goals. So how should be an effective plan be? An effective plan should state clearly what are my objectives, my in the sense of management or the company, what are the company's objectives, how am I going to achieve it, what are the set courses of action. Because when you are planning, not one, you will get many courses of action, you will get alternative courses of action. So out of that you can choose the best. Okay, you can choose the best course of action and then you can put it into practice. So if that course of action goes wrong, you definitely will have an alternative course of action. That way planning helps you a lot. So what does planning basically do? It focuses on achieving of goals. It does not focus on anything else but achieving goals. Its only aim is to achieve goals. How do I achieve my goals? For that first, what do I have to do? I have to know what are my objectives, know what are the company's goals. Based on that, I plan. For example, when you are planning to clean your room, okay, your objective or your work is going to be, your management process is going to be cleaning your room. It's a very big room, so you're going to clean it all alone or you're going to take some help. What is your goal? To clean your room. So that becomes your goal. And planning should be based on that. All your plans should work towards that. How will it work according to that? You will decide, okay, if I'm going to clean my room, should I do it in one time? Or should I take breaks and do it? Should I do it alone? Should I take the help of my parents or my siblings? All those course of actions will come into your mind. Okay, but your only objective is to achieve your goal, that is to clean your room. Somewhere or the other you are going to clean your room. Now what? You are going to do how you are going to plan how to do it. That is what planning involves. Okay, remember this example because we are going to keep it through all the process. To connect it with the managerial functions, organizing. What do you do next? You need to organize. So which goes where? I need to clean my room. So I can't take it and throw it out. I need to keep it in the right place. So books should go here, clock should go here. How do I place my bed? Where to keep my study table? All these things you will organize. Okay? How many hours would I need? Everything comes in planning and organizing. Staffing. Do you need someone to help? Who am I going to take help? My younger sister or my younger brother? Staffing. Whether he or she will be able to do it. If it is a baby, if your younger sister or younger brother is a baby, then they will not be able to do. So you need to find the competent people who something heavy, if there is a furniture that you need to move, you need to take the help of your parents, elders. So you need to calculate your staffing. Then comes directing. How do you direct? As the process goes, as you're cleaning your room, you need to make sure that it is placed in the right way. You know what is your plan. I need to keep my books here. I need to keep my clothes here. How do I have to keep my table lamp? All those will be in your plan. According to that, you can direct. After you come, when your father is lifting a table, what can you do? You can say, Dad, please keep it there. Right, I want to place it here. So you will direct them. Control. When someone is coming and disturbing it again or moving things not according to your plan, then you can control them and bring it back to your way. Right. So this helps you. This all starts from where? All of this starts from planning. That's why we call planning is the basic or one of the most important or the first managerial function. Clear? Now imagine cleaning your room is a very simple process. For just that, if you need planning and planning will take you to a destined goal, think about a big company, a big management. Think yourself as a businessman or a businesswoman and think how planning will help you and how you should plan, how well it should be, what are the various things that you have to think. My examples will be simple, but I want you to relate it to management. Whichever example I am giving you, I want you to imagine yourself as a businessman or a businesswoman and take everything into account based on that. When you are discussing the planning structure, even when you are discussing the planning process or when you are discussing the importance of planning, look at it in the eye of a businessman or a businesswoman. How is planning going to help you? What kind of plan should I have? What are the basic features that my planning should have? From that point you should look. Right? Then it will be not a monotonous process where you are just going to memorize. You will be able to experience it, you will be able to understand it, and you will be able to live with it. When you do it, it does not become a subject, it becomes a knowledge. Okay? And basically add on to whatever you have, knowledge. It should not be like reading and writing exams. It should be like, it should improvise you. It should make your life beautiful and happy. Right. So what did we discuss? Planning focuses on achieving goals. My plan was to complete the features of planning in this video session. So that's my planning. I have to go according to that goal. So my planning's focus is on achieving goals. So does every plan goes with. Next, it is the primary function of a management. What is the primary function of a management? Planning. Because as we have discussed, it starts primary function of management. Why? Because it starts the entire managerial function. When we saw that in the circle and we discussed that though there are interrelated activities, what is the beginning point? What is the starting point? Your plan. Your plan serves as the starting point or the beginning point of your race. So it is essential for you to plan very well. That's why we call planning is the primary function of a management. It does not mean that all other functions are not important. All other functions are important in their own way. Okay? Every function is important. Every function is interrelated. Planning does not start on its own. Okay? Based on the previous function, that is controlling. After you sell something, you will come to know, after you sell a product, you will come to know the plus and minus of it. Only when you talk to your customer or consumer, you will be able to know what are the positives and negatives of your product. Based on that only a planning will provide, or based on that only a planning will start. Right, it is actually a continuation of the previous process. Even though we call it a starting point, it is actually the result of something, either a positive point or a negative point. We discussed about opening a branch. Okay, that's a plan. Now, why do we want to open a branch? All of a sudden we will not think about it. We think about it when we know that our product is selling very well. Our product has a market in that particular state or city. That is when you will decide to expand your business. Just like that, just I have money, so I want to expand my business will not be a manager's thought. A manager, a businessman or businesswoman will think very well before doing something. Right? Only when the market is good for your product, you will be able to start it. You will be able to expand your business. You will be deciding to start a new branch. Okay, otherwise it will be a loss. Whatever you are selling now also, you will not be able to sell. That is why planning, even though it is the primary function of management, it is also serves to be one of the interrelated functions, and it always results as a previous process, result of a previous process of something that has happened earlier. From there only planning comes. Okay. Now talking about the next feature of planning. Planning is pervasive. Do you remember this word? Pervasive. Universal. Okay, universal, existing everywhere, common, uniform. There are so many meanings for pervasive. But we have referred to this word in the first chapter. Management is all pervasive. That is, management format and management is common for all organizations. It is a process that aims at achieving objectives, and it does not prevail only for your management. It is common for all the managements and all kinds of organization, whether it is a profit organization, non-profit organization, manufacturing industry or tertiary industry, India, China, any country. Okay, it is all pervasive. Means what? It is common. Management is common for all kinds of business. Same way, planning is pervasive. Here, how do we say planning? For every function. Looking at it in a broader sense, we say that for every work that we do, we need plan. Even if you want to go to a certain place, you need to plan the previous day itself. How am I going to reach there? With whom am I going to travel? What is the mode of transportation that I am going to take? That is looking at it in a broader sense. Bringing it down to a narrower sense to the business organization, you need to know that all the levels, we have discussed different levels of management. What are they? Top level management, middle level and lower level management. All these three levels of management also require planning. It is not that we know the top level management is responsible for framing the organizational goals and plans. But does planning stop with there? No. They plan about the organization's goals. They plan hugely. When it is passed to middle level, the middle level supervisors or the planning managers or the production managers, they also need their own department plans. It provides in all departments. It is required in all departments. Production department will have their own plan. Sales department will have their own plan. So planning is pervasive. Planning is common. It prevails, it exists in top management, middle management, low level management. Same way it happens. Planning is required in production, it is required in sales, it is required in manufacturing, it is required in advertising, it is required in research and development. All the departments and all levels of management require this. So what do we mean by planning is pervasive? All levels of management and departments, various departments require planning. It is not that planning exists only in the top level. Only the planning manager has to do it. Only the top level executives have to do it. No. It happens till the last employee, last level, low level employee of the organization to plan. The plan involves each and every person of the organization, and planning is pervasive. In what term? Why do we say planning is pervasive, that is common or uniform all over? We say that because it applies or it is needed in all levels and different departments of the organization. That is why we call planning as a pervasive function. Just like management, planning is also pervasive. Okay? Then it is a continuous process. Okay? Why do we say continuous process? We know that it is the basic managerial function, primary managerial function, starting point. Once you have planned, it is enough. Why do we call it a continuous function? Because what is planning all about? It focuses on achieving goals. Are goals the same? Does a company have the same goal for 10 years? No. Every quarter, every month, every week the goal changes. Right? So whenever the goal changes, the planning also has to be brought new. It has to be changed. It has to be remodeled. So planning is a continuous process. It is not a one-time thing. Once you have completed this plan and the result comes, what did I say? From the result, again you need to start a new plan. Right? You have decided to what? Expand your business and start a new branch in another city. That's your plan. So you have organized it, started, directed, controlled, and you have started a new branch in another city. Right? That over. The plan is over. Fine, finish. Is it so? No. You need to start the new branch. Means you need to run the new branch. You have started, but these people should have some work, right? They should promote the sales in that particular city. They should invite customers. What is the customer feedback there? Whether the customer feedback is good. People in Chennai will have a different perspective. Same way people in Karnataka might have a different perspective. Both of them, do they have the same ideas? Because even in cooking, if you see, people here, we don't eat much of spiciness, much of hot or chili added things. But in Andhra, they eat a lot. So if you are a company who manufacture food related items, chili powder for example, your sales here will be little less and people here will require a little bit of spiciness, less spicy chili powder. But whereas in other state like Andhra, they'll require chili powder with lots of spiciness. Based on that customer, you need to change your plan and produce accordingly. Clear? So that's why we say that planning is a continuous process and it is pervasive. Again, it is pervasive. Why? Here the plan differs, there the plan differs. For both the places you need a plan. It's not that for Chennai I don't have to plan, for Karnataka if I plan or Andhra if I plan, it's enough. No. It has to be pervasive as well as it is continuous. Means what? It has to continue throughout. It does not stop at one point. This planning, this function is over. I have opened my new branch. That doesn't mean that my planning is over. I have to start my another plan to promote sales there. If sales comes down, I need to advertise. So I need a plan there. Okay, if my product has reached to a success, that does not stop my planning. I have to start a new plan. What? I can introduce my another product there. There I am right now selling only chili powders or food related things, only grocery items or provisions. I want to develop my store. I want to develop my branch. I want to sell a new line of business. Happens. So you need to keep on planning. It's a never ending process. It's continuous. Once a plan is over and you got success or failure in it, it leads to another plan. Both your success as well as your failure may lead to another plan. That's why we say planning is a continuous process. Then planning is futuristic. What do we mean by futuristic? Futuristic. Future. It is related to future. Planning is what looking ahead of what is going to happen in future. If it happens, how can I handle the situation? Achieving goals, you don't set goals for past, right? You are going to set goals in future. I have to reach a target of 2000 products or 2000 customers I should get for a mobile company, for a SIM card company, what would be the target? I have to get more customers. So at the end of this month I should have 2000 customers. When you say at the end of the month, it becomes future. You will not say that according to last month I should have achieved 2000. There is no point in thinking about the past. Based on that you may plan for future. So only we say that planning is futuristic. It is looking ahead and it is planning for future. We take into account about the future. What would be the future changes? Based on that only we will be deciding. That's where we look into political environment or legal environment. Right, there you have to bring your dimensions of business environment. So you will know that you have to think when you are planning a new thing, you have to decide, okay, legal environment at present is like this, might change. What might be the future changes? So what is that called? Forecasting. You know, guesswork. It is mostly a guesswork. It might happen, or sometimes you may be positive about it. If you know very well that this is expected, then you may forecast, okay, after this particular month the sales will improve. If you are a confectioner, if you are making sweets, you know that okay, Diwali is in 2 months, so the sales will improve that time. Forecasting. You try to guess what would happen in future. Based on that you will plan, and hence planning is supposed to be futuristic. It talks about future. You will set goals for future. Right? That's why it is called as futuristic. And it helps in decision making. How do you think your planning will help you in decision making? Of course it will help you in your decision making. Because when you have a clear cut plan, when there is a problem or when there is a deviation, you know what is your plan, you know where you are traveling, you know what are the goals that you are supposed to attain. So you can decide according to that. You can take your decisions according to that. You can compare the alternate course of actions, and then your decision making will be really good and effective, quick. Okay? In your new branch, you know that the mobile company will take 2000 customers you have to achieve. That's your plan. So based on that you need to decide. So when the sales in one particular city is booming, it is going higher, you can send some more staff there and promote it there instead of focusing on a place where the sales is coming down. Okay, so it helps in decision making, and of course it involves decision making also. Okay, based on that you make your decision, and using decisions you will make a plan. Okay, and then finally it is the most important point. It is a mental exercise. What do we mean by that? What do we mean by that? We have said already that it is futuristic and you need to forecast a lot. That involves mental exercise. Planning cannot be imaginative. It cannot for example, in a city where 2000 families are there, you cannot aim at selling 5000 SIM cards. It is imaginative. You need to calculate if 2000 families are there, how many adults will be there? 2, say 2. 2000 into 2 will become 4000 only. Even if it is not possible for you to sell all of them the same SIM card, there may be competitors. How can you make your plan better? Okay, so it is a clear-cut logical thinking. You need to frame your plan logically. Only 4000 SIM cards are possible and you plan for 5000 SIM cards. It's of no use. Then your plan, your process, everything becomes a failure. You know that it's not about taking risk, it's not risk bearing. You know it's a failure and you get into it. So what you need, it's a mental exercise. Planning is a mental exercise because you sit and decide the course of action. You sit and set your goals. Everything happens here. Right, mentally you need to be very strong and very clear about your goals, because that's only going to help you in decision making and that's only going to help you in all the other managerial functions. That's why we call planning as a mental exercise. You cannot just use your imagination. You can use your creativity in advertising. When you plan advertisements, you need creativity then. Right, so you can plan with creativity, logical and analytical thinking. It cannot just sit in your mind. It should be a proper exercise. It should take a proper form. Everything that is in your mind cannot take a proper form. Cannot happen also. When you want to advertise, I want the real rain to fall. I wait for the rain to come and then only I shoot my advertisement. It will not be possible. Right. So you need to take the alternate courses of action. You need to think logically. What do I need for rain? I can set it up like this and or else I can change it. I can change the season or whatever is available with that I can take. Okay. So it helps in decision making as well as it is considered to be a mental exercise. You need to think logically, analytically. You can use your creativity and make your decisions as well as your plans. Okay, what we have discussed today, we have recalled of planning and what the managerial functions, how they are interrelated. Even though all those functions are interrelated, planning is supposed to be the primary or basic function because it serves to be the beginning point. Even though it is called the beginning point, it is the result of something, either a success or a failure or an improvement or an expansion. It is a result of something. Okay, so we have recalled about the importance of planning. What are those? It helps in decision making, it helps in standardizing your controlling, and it involves innovative ideas, and then it provides direction. It reduces your uncertainty of risk and risk of uncertainty. It reduces risk of uncertainty. It removes or reduces the unwanted and overlapping activities. Today we have discussed in detail about the features of planning, how your plan should be or what are the nature and scope of planning. Planning focuses on achieving goals. The main thing about planning is it focuses on achieving goals. And it is the primary function. Even though other functions are also there, they are also equally important. All the managerial functions are interrelated. Out of them, we consider planning to be the primary function and the basic function because it serves like the starting point for any management. And then we have discussed about planning is pervasive. Just like management is pervasive, planning is also pervasive. How management is pervasive? Either small scale, large scale, and profit organization, non-profit organization, any countries, management is similar. Same way, all levels of management and various departments also need planning. The process of planning is similar. Their goals may differ, but the process is the same. It is a continuous process. It is a never-ending process. It's not. You cannot stop with one-time plan. When you plan something, finish it. You need to start with a new plan. You have to start with a new plan. Then it is futuristic. When we talk about achieving goals itself, we have told that it is all about future, looking ahead, knowing what to do in future. So what we involve there? Forecasting, that is guessing what might happen in future. It helps in decision making, or it involves decision making to be very particular. It involves decision making. So decision making helps in planning and planning really helps in decision making. It is a mental exercise. We should take planning as a mental exercise in terms of how. We need to think logically. We need to analyze the factors and then come to a clear-cut plan. It's not enough if you can just imagine things that are not possible. When you imagine things, you need to check on the possibility of doing it. That's what is called analytical and logical thinking. Right? So planning serves to be a mental exercise. Right? So far we have discussed about planning, importance of planning and features of planning. In the next class we will be discussing about the limitations of planning. Limitations of planning. Yes, even though it has so many good features and we know that planning is important for our management, planning has a few limitations also. and it is essential for us to know what they are. So we'll meet in the next session with limitations of planning. Till that, I want you to think yourself as a businessman or a businesswoman and think of all the importance of planning and features of planning. Thank you, and may all have a great day today.